Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Fellowship Friday. I pray that as you ended your week, that you ended on a blessed and glorious note, that you didn't chalk it up to luck, but you chalked it up to the blessing and favor of God and the miracle signs and wonders that He or she performs for us. I thank you so much for tuning in and for being so patient for me when I have to take the self-care days and staying here with me. On today, I want to talk about introverts and extroverts and how each needs to be understood in how they interact with people. You know, so many people say when they see somebody who doesn't talk, who doesn't interact, who doesn't socialize, oh, they're standoffish, they don't like people. That's an introvert. That is not true. As an introvert, and many will say, oh, but you talk on a YouTube channel and you preach and you teach. That means nothing. So many people want to equate because of what you do or how you interact, and the things that you are called to do, that makes you an extroverted person. It does not. Introverts will do what they need to do. They will communicate when they need to communicate. But when it comes to social situations, social gatherings, please understand that when they are in a big social gathering or they are in a social gathering where they don't really know very many people, where they don't really have a connection with them, that they will withdraw into their shell and they will not talk. My wife will tell people, if my wife is talking to you, she likes you. And when she says that, she's not being mean. She's not saying that there are certain people that I don't like. It is not that. I just have found a connection with them. I found a connection in my spirit with them. And we have to think about that, when we're fellowshipping, even as introverts and extroverts. If there are times that you don't feel a connection or you don't feel a need to talk to someone, that may be God intervening on your behalf, him or her telling you this is not the person for you. And so you may just be a casual hello and how are you doing, have that conversation and then keep moving and keep moving on. But, everybody looks at my wife and I and they look at us differently and they would say to her, is your wife okay? Is everything all right? And she'd be like, oh yeah, she's not a very social person. Doesn't mean I don't like socializing. Doesn't mean I don't like the situation or the atmosphere that I'm in. But sometimes social gatherings can be very overwhelming and very intimidating for introverts. Now we have the extrovert on the other side. The one that's the life of the party. Introverts are seen as the wallflowers, and extroverts are seen as the life of the party. They're the ones that are laughing and joking and having fun and can communicate and talk with anyone. My LS and my sister that I have, that I crossed over, beta with, we call her AKA Extra Extra because she is one of those that can strike up a conversation anywhere she goes with anyone she sees, and she has no problem talking to them. Now, we have to understand that when an introvert is in a situation, we don't want to force them or try to make them be a part of something if their spirit is not feeling it. And we don't want to quench or squash the extrovert who is the life of the party. Sometimes I will tell my sister, Sammy, stop that. But I realize that's just who she is. And when she feels like she's being boxed in or she's being caged, then she feels that she can't be herself. So we have to allow each to be themselves. And I thank my wife, that she understands. I have to, if I feel it, uncomfortable in a situation, she allows me to get comfortable in that situation and then allows me to engage, allows me to have conversations and interact with people. She doesn't force me to. And I thank her for that. I thank her that one day she asked, she says, wife, you're an introvert, aren't you? And I say, yeah. She says, oh, I kind of realized and understood that's who you are, that you're not really, one that wants to socialize. When I was younger and coming up and my parents would have people at the house, I would put on a happy face. I would laugh. I would smile. I would joke. But when I needed to pull away, when I needed to go have my time to recharge and refresh myself, I would look at my dad and I'd say, I got to go to my room. And he wouldn't get mad at me. He wouldn't, get upset with me. He would say, okay, you've done your part. You've interacted. You've put on the happy face for as long as you could. Go do what you need to do for you. And so we have to allow those times and those moments, when the introvert needs to pull away and they need to have that alone time. And we need to allow the extrovert to have that interaction and that interaction in life of the party time. We cannot allow ourselves to think because, somebody else is doing something that we have to do it. No, you have to have that balance, of everything. Many times when I'm sitting quietly and I'm looking and looking at a situation, I'm assessing it. Seeing, is this really a safe place? Is this really a safe space to be in? And then once I feel comfortable, then I will interact. I will conversate. I will engage, so to say. So today, when you think about it, think about who you are, who your spouse is or your significant other is. If they're introverted, understand it's not because they don't want to be social. When I come home, my wife understands I need a minute to detox from being around people all day. Like I text her today, I love my job, but I hate our convocation because it's such a big interactive social gathering and it sends my anxiety into overdrive. So what I have to do is allow myself to be able to stop, decompress, and do what I need to do. At work, I love the fact, when I can go in my room and I don't have to interact with people after teaching and stuff like that. I do the meetings that I have to do. I do the things that I have to do. But when I don't have to do them, I take that time for me to take that time to decompress, to get myself together and be ready for the next wave of whatever is coming within my day. So on today, on this #Fellowship Friday, don't think because you're an introvert or an extrovert or, your spouse is an introvert or an extrovert that they're doing anything that's disrespectful. No, they're being who they are, and it's okay for them to be who they are. Just get an understanding of who they are. So have a wonderful day on this #Fellowship Friday. #hold on, I'm going to put Jesus on that. All issues, #you've been released. If you are blessed and favored, remember to tell people, #take it up with God. Have a wonderful day, and I will see you on tomorrow.